right?
Yeah.
They seem to be sticking pretty good, those rhinestones. Hopefully they stay.
Hopefully.
Hopefully they stay on there. I don't know. So what do you think about that rock? It's the butterfly with the rhinestones, and then we'll spray over it to get it glossy, and hopefully it stays. Yeah.
I was thinking if I could finish this galaxy one today, I could hide it tomorrow.
Well, I don't know. We'll go and hide it eventually somewhere.
I'm not here.
We'll have to figure that out and then make plans for that stuff too. You're painting the lid. Move things out of the way.
That's a good shit.
Pull your sleeves up. You got so much paint all over. He's got it everywhere. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let's see. Come here. Now you just moved it. Well, look at his hands first of all. Covered in paint. But he's got it all over his shirt. On the other hand. Probably on the other shirt too. Go wash your hands too. Okay. Well, it probably is now.
No.
Boys. So, I'd love to hear about if you've done it. Give us, or if you have any ideas for rocks to make. I have my fool's gold. Did I show you my fool's gold rock? Yeah. But if you have any ideas, or if you've made some rocks, or your families have done this, please let us know. I think it'll be fun to follow, to find out, just to connect with other people in the city, whether you know them or not. I think it's a pretty cool idea, especially if we do some inspirational stones and it actually makes a difference in somebody's day. That would be great. It's always good to know that you make people, especially nowadays with all this social media and the bullying and anxiety and depression that's going on everywhere. It's good to see that people are trying to connect and make people's days better, which is what we want to try doing. Huh?
Yeah.
You still washing your hands?
Yeah.
Yeah?
There was just soap in there. Oh.
So after they dry, we will spray the gloss coating on top. And then I think it dries for 24 hours. Apply at room temperature, it says. Haha. Yeah, let dry 2 minutes before applying again if you need to do an additional coat. But you got to let it completely dry for 24 hours before you go touching it. So, a lot of mine are closer to being done than his. His are still drying. I did kind of cheat and got a bunch of them done last night so that they could dry. But, I mean, he did a couple too. But he stuck them to a paper towel so they did not make it. But he's got more working now. So look at a galaxy rock. Can't wait to see how that turns out. But I was going to make this an eagle's rock. I just got to figure out how. I don't know if I'm just going to write it on there because I know I can't do the eagle's head any justice. And I have no way of tracing it or transferring it or anything. But that is a cool idea. I saw a lady doing it. So I think we'll try that sometime too. Where you can do like the tissue paper transfers and you put it on there and Mod Podge over it and then it's got like the perfect little thing on there. That would be cool too, I think. What do you think?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. I didn't hear anything you said. But...
Then don't agree. He wasn't even listening like usual. All right, so like I said, on the back we'll be putting about the Laramie County rocks or the Cheyenne rocks. That's the only one I've been accepted to so far. But I had seen that some people had like a little square with the F, so I'm planning on doing that as the Facebook symbol on them. And then we're going to just put Cheyenne rocks. And then the Facebook symbol, hopefully they know what that means. So we'll see how that works.
Okay. We need a coat.
Probably. Or a sweatshirt.
It doesn't feel that cold. It really doesn't.
Go then. So it's really hard to keep his interest in things. He loves to run off all the time. My daughter, I wanted to do that with her too. She's rarely ever home, always at work or off at speech and debate and things like that. But this channel, I hope to bring us closer and get us more involved in different things, more of an exploration kind of thing of who we are. I wanted to do like an intro and everything to the channel before we started recording stuff, but that never happened. So hopefully, you kind of get what it is that we're doing. I'm doing this not, for any other reason except to spend time with the kids, to explore our horizons and kind of figure out who we are, things that we like to do, places we like to go, and stuff like that. We've been having a lot of problems with depression and anxiety with my older daughter, and then with my son, his issues with making friends and things like that. So I was hoping to build more confidence inside them, help them explore. It's really hard to break a person down when a person knows who they are. There are people that are going to pick on you. There are haters out there. There are bullies, and it's really horrible that people do things like that to each other. But it's a lot harder to make fun of somebody for something if it's actually who they are and what they like. If it's what you love, you don't care what people say. If it's who you are, it shouldn't matter what anybody says. You are who you are. I'm real big on trying to express to my kids not to judge books by their cover. Don't just assume things. Everybody goes through problems. Everybody has issues. Nobody's life is perfect. And when you pick on people without knowing things about them, not that you should pick on them ever, even if you do know about them, but you never know what's going on in their life, or how hard their life is, or what's causing problems, or what makes them do the things they do. And it's not cool to pick on people for the choices that they make. It's their choices. You have your choices. You have your life. They have theirs. Let them do whatever. So that kind of brings me into Flash. This is Flash, my squishy. He is a massively huge sloth. Madly in love with him. My daughter bought him for me the other day. And he's kind of like the mascot. And the reason he is because my favorite animal most of my life has been a giraffe, and it still is. But I have a newfound love for sloths. Never really knew about them before. We saw them, in Ice Age, Sid, and then Flash. It was in Zootopia. Totally funny, but that was after. See, I have narcolepsy, and I'm an insulin-dependent diabetic. I have been my whole life. So there's lots of medical issues that I have that people don't know about. I like to keep them as quiet as I can. They're not obvious for everybody to see. But I did, about a year ago, run out of my medicine for narcolepsy, and it really put me through it. For a couple months, I was very slow. It was very hard to be awake. It was very hard to do my everyday things, yet I still had to go to work. Single mom, 2 kids. The bills don't care if you're tired or sick or out of medicine, so I still had to go to work. And I have a difficult to get along with personality to begin with. You kind of have to get to know me in order to understand. I am not a bold, out there, smiling kind of person. So when the medicine was gone, I was, kind of like a zombie, very slow, very out of it. It was very hard to just do my everyday activities and going to work, and I was a bartender server at the time. So it was bad. I'm not even going to lie. Like, I totally understand. And there was a complaint that came in about me from, people that had eaten there. And it wasn't a bad one. They basically said that I was a very sweet girl, but I had the enthusiasm of a sloth. And everybody laughed. Some were like, "Oh, Leah, that's so mean." And I thought it was funny. Like, I had just seen Zootopia and Flash on there and the way they moved, and I knew like that was me. And, and that's what I try to teach my kids. They weren't trying to be mean. They don't know what's going on in my life. So yeah, I probably seem like some really doped up or crazy person to them. And yeah, there's lots of guys that were cooks at my job that used to think that I was real big and smoking weed and everything, because I have this very laid back, slow personality. Like, I really do. I take high doses of amphetamines for my narcolepsy just to be slow and tired all day long, like everybody else, if they'd stayed up all day, would be. And it sucks, and it's hard to explain, and nobody really understands it, and that's okay. They don't have to. But to let it run my world, to let people's comments affect me, would be bad. Like, if I had let that get to me and I stopped working, then we'd be in a bad situation. The kids wouldn't have things. I wouldn't be able to pay bills. So instead of, I don't know, I looked at it differently than everybody else. I thought it was funny. I embraced it. We had theme days at work, and there was one where you were supposed to dress up like an animal. So I went as a sloth, painted my face like a sloth and everything. And then I had given both of the kids for Easter a sloth, and they had bunny ears. So I took them to work with me too, because they were my sloths trying to be other animals, which were bunnies. It turned more into a thing for me. So I embraced it and used it as an example for my kids to understand that when people say things to you or about you, it doesn't matter what other people think. It's what you think and what you need, and how you live your life. If it's something you like to do, do it. If it's something you don't like to do, you don't have to. Don't follow the crowds. Don't just do the in stuff because other people say to do it. Be yourself. Be your own person. So Flash is our mascot, basically. He sits here. He's part of the family now. And it's just an example of, don't let other people's opinions or words hurt you or control your life. Be yourself. Be who you are. Embrace it. And don't judge other people, because you never know what they're going through. You never know what they're dealing with. Well, that's basically it. Sorry, I didn't mean to go into my preaching and stuff, but my daughter is 17 and about to go to college and move out. And she has an amazing personality. She's really, really fun to be around. Um, but she doesn't like herself. She uses humor as a defense mechanism against other people. And it's sad for me because she's amazing and I wish she'd see herself the way I see her. And I don't want her to go off to college on her own, not knowing that she's amazing, not knowing that she can make it and she can do so many amazing things, and to not be influenced by other people's opinions, because it doesn't matter what they think. And if she actually saw herself the way that me and all of her billions of friends see her, she would understand. We have her, seeing a doctor, and we're dealing with the depression and anxiety that she has. I very much understand that it is a chemical imbalance in your head. It's not made up. It's not something that you do to yourself. It's something that you constantly have to battle, and medication can help it depending on how bad it is. But it's a real thing. It's out of your control. So we talk about it, we discuss it, we do everything we can to help her in that way. But we also now have started our own medicine, which is helping her quite a bit. And I hope that she sees it, because it's the chemical imbalance in her brain that's causing the problems. It's not her and who she is. And I would hate for her life to be ruined because of something that she can't control, something that she needs help with, and that we have to work on. So we are working on it, and I was hoping that these videos and this channel would give us things to do, or for her to find interests and hobbies and more confidence in herself as we go along. So if you do have ideas on things for us to do, that would be great. I'm going to start making her get in the videos, spending a little more time at home, because like I said, we've got 6 months before she goes. And she was accepted to the college of her dreams. Yay. She's so excited. That's great. We got a couple scholarships. We're working on that because I don't have the money to help her. So we are getting that taken care of as best as we can. Hopefully we get it, because I'm not very good at letting my kids down. So we're going to get it. We're going to figure it out. And the same thing with Jaden. He's always been a little off. He's got sort of the robotic personality that I have. And it's hard for kids to understand. It really is. And I don't want him to feel, what is that? Like an outsider. I don't want him to feel like he's not accepted, or he's not the same, or not as good as other people, because he's absolutely amazing. He is hilarious, and he really tries. He has a really big heart, and he wears it on his sleeve, which is going to be a lot of trouble when he gets in his teenage years, because girls are going to be all over him and his big old ears. But I want him to get out there and learn things and experience things. He's very big on video games and keeps himself locked up in his room, and that's not cool. So we've been doing a lot of things lately with, you need to get out, you need to be with other people, you need to do things. So we're going to work on that. And that's basically what my plans were for these videos in the first place. Memories, things that we can keep track of, and building better people. What? Nothing.
Get back home.
Careful. Pig flashed his arm up over there. Looks like he's about to fall over. So we have painted a few rocks. We're going to work on them, finish them up, and then spray them with the Mod Podge, or with the gloss coating. And then once they dry, stop talking over me. Once they dry, we will show them to you guys, and then we'll do a video of where we put them, I guess, or where we plan to hide them, and what they turned out to be, and things like that. So I hope you come back to see us. Thanks.